What are you monkeys doing? What are you monkeys doing? Making a mess out of my study area. Donati. Donati. Cupid. Cupid. What you doing? What you doing, buddy? Hi everyone on YouTube. This is Nagian making another one of my live Come Alive YouTube stream. And this is Cupid. 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 He is the first one of the litter, and he is the funny one. The funny one. You see yourself on YouTube? Oh my goodness, who is that boy? Who is that funny boy? Who's that funny boy? Would you like to see yourself? Cupid, look at yourself. You funny boy. You Cupid. Who's that? Who's this Cupid? You see, my Creator Academy. They say you put things on the left, and then you put things on the right, and then sometimes it has to be in the center, sometimes very up close, sometimes back. Right, Cupid? It's my Cupid. Aww. Oh, what did you get for wrestling with Mommy earlier? You went nowhere with it. You better calm down, Cupid. You better calm down, buddy. Cupid. Cupid, don't wrestle with Mommy. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. He has a cute meow. It's not very loud. It's kind of What the hell it goes? Yeah, his meow is not loud. It's like halfway. I think he has that he might be a little affected in his meowing. He's very like You're very cute, Cupid. All right. I just wanted YouTube to see you. Yeah, you're the firstborn. You're the firstborn. Yes, you are. And you're the funny boy. You're the funny boy. You're the funny boy. And you could tell he's funny since the first day he was born. He flopped out of the Cetos. Yeah, you could tell he was gonna be funny. You want down? I'll let you down. Say bye-bye to YouTube. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, they're, I call them, their names, I will reiterate, is names after stars, because that's my nickname, right? So the first one is Cupid, right? So I tried to do like an A, B, C, D. So, A, B, C, D. Like, no, Cito, you're not coming out again. You know how kids play with letter blocks? You got A, B, C, the song A, B, C, D, E. So I try to create names that is like an A, B, C. No, Cito, you're not coming out again. I pretty much give Besitos whatever she wants, but I don't want her to be spoiled. And Locos, it's getting late, so you need to calm down. Cito, calm down. So their names, as far as A, B, C, and D, right? So the first one is Astra. Cito, you're not going back in the garage. No, mommy. I already let you in. You can't be asking 101 times. Get ready to go to sleep. Like I said, I give Besitos pretty much whatever she wants to keep her happy. But I don't want to feel she's gonna ask me like 101 times. Because my previous cat, a beautiful Persian, that I regret giving to my social worker, and I found out later that as kind of like a paraprofessional in the clinic, she's not allowed to even accept gifts, least a cat, and the reason why I did it because at the time I had my Chihuahua pug and there was a little bit of jealousy and I just felt financially strapped, right? But Melody was a beautiful gray Persian that my neighbors, the African American neighbors, pretty much gave up to me because they did not have money for the deposit. And as somebody who is disabled, I am exempt from paying deposits. Why? Because the emotional pet laws, right? So if you guys don't know what it is, I have disabled friends that are actually very skilled at distinguishing the different laws for disabled people. So if you are disabled, you qualify for what is a emotional support pet, different apart than a service pet. Okay, those emotional support pets, you're gonna need probably a letter from a psychiatrist or physician saying that you need those pets for. No, you're not. You guys are not going back in the garage, Bianca. No. Um, and then once that happens, you get it. Why? Because you need the animal and the animal needs you. But more so, there's perks to it. One, you don't have to pay for deposits. So usually animal deposits, they are equivalent to the deposit you left for your home, $500. So you are exempt from deposit. Plus, usually, if you're moving into apartments, at least the one I was at the time, a HUD apartment on Lincoln East in Anaheim, near Lincoln and State College, Lincoln Woods apartment. They'll charge you monthly, right? The deposit and additional monthly. Hey, Donati, take it easy on Bianca. Donati, take it easy on Bianca. Yeah. They're getting rambunctious. You're too naughty. And Bianca, she's the only girl, but she's like the only girl in the family. She fights. She likes to fight with the boys. She's down on the ground fighting with Donati right now. For fun, of course. Go get him, Bianca. Go get him, Bianca. Go get him, Bianca. Come on. Get up, Bianca. Get up, Bianca. Get up, baby. Get up, baby. Oh, Donati's putting up a fight. They look so cute fighting each other. Oh, Donati. Donati. Oh my goodness. Who's winning? I can't tell. Who's winning? Oh! Donati's jumping around like a rabbit because he's tiny, so he's got to jump like a rabbit to give him leverage. Donati. Come on, Bree. Come on, Bree. Come on, Bree. Get up, Bree. Come on, Bree. Come on, Bianca. Get that boy. You get that boy. Yeah, she's struggling, but she's like, let's fight. Come on, Bree. Get him. Get him, Bree. Oh, Donati. Oh, Donati. He's tiny, so his way of he hops like this. Donati, you're funny, Donati. You're funny, Donati. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You want to see them fight on YouTube? Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him, Bianca. Go get him, Bianca. Go get him. Here, I'll help you. I'll help you. You sit on him. You sit on him. Donati. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Let's see yourself on YouTube. Come on. Who's this boy? Let's see yourself on YouTube. Donati. Oh my goodness. He's getting rambunctious, Donati. You want to see yourself on YouTube? Who's that boy? Who's that? It looks a lot like you. Donati. He's getting feisty, rambunctious, you can see. He's like, let me get her. Play nice. You play nice. Get down and play nice. I was gonna say their names. So Astra is the no, Cedo, no. No. Do you want me to get out my water bottle? No, Cedo. No. Don't make me spray you, okay? I'll let you go in the garage already. This is Astra. Astra. This is Astra. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love him. He's just so quiet. And he's like this all the time. Very quiet, very well behaved compared to the other two. Very quiet. This is his disposition, like all the time. Just very quiet. Doesn't cause any trouble. Good boy. Sleepy. You want to go to sleep? There you go, baby. So this is Astra. And his eyes are gold now. But they started off as a very beautiful blue. Some of the videos I've uploaded here, right? And now his eyes are like gold. It's beautiful. His eyes are beautiful. It's like gold on black. So this is Astra. And why did I choose Astra? Is because Astra means leap. Leap. You know how you leap into outer space, right? The space, right? The unknown, the universe, right? So his name is Astra. Hey, you guys play nice. Donati. Hey! Donati. Play nice with her. Calm down. Being very mean to her, Donati. Play nice. You see how they behave compared to Astra? This is the way he is all the time. And the other ones are like two monkeys. He was like this ever since the day he's born. He's quiet. And he's like this like all the time. And he's the biggest. You can see, here I'll show you his back. Okay, and his front. He's a big one compared to the others. He's not going to be a skinny cat, that's for sure. He's hefty. He's beautiful. His eyes are very, I don't know, they're very mesmerizing. Whether they're blue or green, now gold. It's like hypnotic. So this is Astra, and he means leap. Hey, are you going to be nice to her, Donati? Donati? Don't make me repeat myself. Donati? You play nice with her, Donati. Don't make me spray you. So you can see the difference between their behavior and Astra. You see, he's a big one. He's the biggest one. Yeah, because his dad, I said, is about the size of a small bulldog or a big, I don't know, Frenchie. His dad's pretty big. So he's Astra. Brianca is the next one. Bianca. And that's Italian for white, right? So Astra and Bianca are like the opposites. And since the day I was born, it's something very interesting. Just like a constellation, Astra always gravitates towards Bianca. Even when I rearranged them when they were babies, it's like, yeah, trying to rearrange, right? The sun and the moon, or Priscilla Chan removing viruses, right? In the next 50 years, not going to happen. So I tried to rearrange them, right? And he would always crawl back to Bianca, or Bianca would gravitate towards him. And then the other two, Cupid and Donati, it was like yin and yang. So you got, the opposites, how opposites oppose, black, white, right? So you had Astra and Bianca always together, even if you separate them or try to rearrange them. And then you have Cupid. Hey, what are you doing to her? Hey, I said, come. Don't knock her into the computer, Donati. You're being very mean. Calm down, buddy. She just came back and tackled him like a football player. She's a tomboy, Bianca. And now she's throwing herself on top of him. Go get him, Bianca. Get him, Bianca. Teach that boy a lesson. Teach that boy with no butts a lesson, Bianca. And then the last one is Donati. So, all right, opposing forces. So you have Astra, right? And you leap into outer space, so the darkness, right? It's a good darkness. It's vast, mysterious, right? Just kind of like him. And then you have Bianca, that's Italian for white. So this is a complete opposite, right? And then Cupid, like your heart, and Donati. So what does Donati means? It means, the reason why I'm giggling, because Donati kind of sounds like my real name, which is Na T, right? Na T, middle initial Huang, right? Naughty. So yeah, I get a lot of people joke around a lot about that. They're like, "Oh, how naughty are you?" So Donati actually means gift, right? Gift from, right? I know what kind of gift they are. They're a gift from God. I'm gonna put him down so he can go to sleep. I know exactly who these babies are. They're gifts from God. And Cupid, heart, right? The heart, guess what it has? 4 chambers, right? Which is usually the numbers of how much a cat gives birth to her babies. So God breathes life into babies, right? He thinks the best of them. So, we need to remember that before we see them as, coined as overpopulation, right? and all that stuff. Yes, those are issues we need to take into consideration, right? Like every city has its ordinance. In Santa Ana, it's 4 dogs to 6 cats, right? And the laws for them are different, right? Dogs, you have to have license. Cats, you don't, right? But I don't see, right, God breathing life into babies. Like, oh, that's a problem, right? Overpopulation. I'll just stop there because the arguments on that can get really heated up and it's really depressing, where, people are talking about how animals, after they're born, they're being euthanized, right? And their crime was just being born into the world. Like, serious, that's just ridiculous. How is it a crime, right, to be born into the world? Yeah, this world is backwards. Let's just put it that way. That's why the Bible, I base everything on the Bible. God said in his kingdom, things that we put last here on earth will be first, right? The verse, right? The first will be last and the last will be first. God's saying that the way the world order is right now, that's ruled by men, right? It's going to be different than the heaven that is going to be ruled by God. Totally different. And unfortunately that happens, but God says that, things that belong to him never will die, right? Because he will resurrect them. Okay? And for people who just murder, because they have wrong views on things, God said that there will be a second death waiting for them. So that is an uplifting word of hope during the coronavirus pandemic. My message for the world from God, that if you've had somebody that has passed away from this coronavirus, and I see a lot of sad videos, especially when this all started in Italy. And, they have the cross on the coffin. Just know they're just sleeping, right? They're resting in Christ. And when the resurrection day comes, right, this coronavirus will not keep them down, okay? Because Christ reigns, right? People need to examine that more so around the world than, this damn virus. Which I think is a joke. Like, what's a corona? Most people joke around about it. I do too. So you gotta make some humor out of all this. Like, a corona. Most people are like, that's like a Corona beer, right? And, I joke around about it because that's how you cope with this. And I said, the way people kind of stumble and fall down, it looks like somebody, had too much of a Corona. I think it's all bogus. I think when the truth comes out, But anyways, Cupid is heart. The kitties, I know who they are. They're the hearts of God that was given to me, right? And they're very dear because they were born here, where my last dog passed away. And for a while, I was like, who am I gonna hold? Like, who am I gonna kiss? Who am I gonna love? And like any of us, right? We're looking, right? Animal shelter, see who's to adopt. We're looking, you know, Craigslist, wherever we can, right? But you know what? I can tell you, you don't need to look because love will find you. And once you find love, that's something you can't, somebody can't, it's not so easily taken away. That's what these cats mean to me. The funny thing is that Fat Boy is actually the dad. And I think I showed you guys a picture of him. And it was a blessing for me to have besitos. So a little bit of background about besitos. Besito, okay, means kiss in Spanish, and besitos. Maybe I made that up because maybe there's a plural for kisses in Spanish that's different, but besitos means a lot of kisses, right? And that's what she is. And that's what I give to her. I named her that name because, after the senior Hispanic man, he's homeless. Unfortunately, that's the case in Santa Ana of a lot of undocumented people. He gave besitos to me. I fell in love with her the first time I saw her. And out of, the litter, I said, I want that one. She was, me and her had an immediate connection. And I know how hard it is to give up something you love. But he was in a predicament where, orange animal shelter, animal care, didn't like the fact that he had besitos and her siblings, right, in back of his makeshift bike. And, they were worried about the welfare. And, people at Mary's Kitchen took a liking to me. And he just one day asked me, he said, do you want, do you want a kitty? And, I didn't have time to pray about it because, just like I didn't have time to think that the Besito was going to deliver. But, if something is predestined, it's like, right, you just accept it. You accept it. You don't argue against it. Just like my little spiel about school, right, and being honors. So I took her, away from Mary's Kitchen. And now I'm going to try to make my video an hour because I'm sleepy. And now Mary's Kitchen is closing. So my motherly instinct for Besito was right on. When he offered her to me, I was like, I have to take her, right? I didn't even have time, right, to think about anything else. And now Mary's Kitchen's closing. In a nutshell, Besito is my queen. I think after she delivered her baby, she thought that she's no longer my baby. So I had a talk with her. I said, no matter how many babies she has, she's always going to be my baby, right? Yeah, Besitos, she really defies life circumstances. Recently, right, she had diarrhea. She fought it. And I, like her delivery, I backed her up all the way. You know, we did everything we can. Wash the dishes, clean water. I even put their food away in the refrigerator because things are more sterile when it's cold. Portion control when her diarrhea is out of control. Diet restriction, I take it away. We fought it. Um, when she poos, right? Boom, I use my microban antibacterial. I shoot it. I use baking soda. I totally gutted out, cleaned out their litter box. Uh, bought, more litters. Just like I taught you guys, right? When something happens, right, you fight back. So, she was having diarrhea and I fought back. I prayed over her. I wiped up her mess every day. And every time, I saw nasty stuff in her litter box, I really scrubbed the hell out of it. Where is she? And she's fought it. Besito defies life. She's tough. She's tough. Besito's very tough. And I trained her like that. So, these are their names. And I did change the name of Besitos. I call her Besitos a lot. But I did change her name too. In terms of star name. So Zenith. You guys probably hear about Zenith the warrior. Zenith means the crowning point. You know how you have a tiara and it's like so she's, her star name is Zenith and Fat Boy is Titan. Okay. And there's a meaning for that. I don't remember. I think of the Titanic, right? He's big. Yeah. And, I've had a lot of stupid people ask me, you gonna keep them all? It's like, well, they were all born here, right? I'm in a house, so it's not like I'm in an apartment where they would limit one. So yeah, I'm gonna hold on to them, as long as I can. And especially right now, they need Besitos. They need her milk. And they need her. And I could tell you that the Besitos, I think me being a mother to Besito has rubbed off on her because she was so committed to being a mom. She was so committed. I remember, I think because they kept on disrespecting her space, right? Which they do every day. So she started to take her babies in the garage when they were really tiny. And I get upset, because their stuff is so dirty. Dangerous stuff might be up there, fall on them, they could die. So, she kept on sneaking her babies out there because I think they kept on invading her space. And they would hold her babies and she would ask for her babies back. And they were like, acting all stupid. So I think Besitos took it as a threat. So she took the babies in the garage, but I got mad. I said, no, because I know how dirty their stuff is. They got piles and piles of crap here, and you don't know what's going to drop on them, and those kitties could die. So I yelled at the Cetos, and I basically timed out. She kept on trying to grab her baby, take them out, right? I said, that's it. Time's out. All right, you might be the mother to them, but I have to be the mom of all of them. So you're going to listen to me right now. It's like you see a child touch fire, you just... So I spanked her, and then I yelled at her. And I basically times out. I said, you're not allowed to be near your babies, right? Until you stop that. But the look on her face when I did that, it was almost as if she was going to die. She was like, oh, and I thought about that. And it's true. These babies, if they don't have the Cetos and have her milk, they will die. And vice versa. Right? And that's something we don't, we need to respect in a relationship. Right? Like me and my boyfriend, ever since me and my boyfriend met on LinkedIn, there has been so many men that you would think, it's been a while since I had anybody seriously interested in me. And, my boyfriend comes along, right? That's why I couldn't believe it. And, the fact who he is, he is part of Homeland Security and a federal agent. Thinking, what did I do wrong? Are you going to deport me or what? And he was just saying he was interested in me. But ever since me and my boyfriend actually met, you would think other men would respect that, right? No. They kept on hitting on me more and more. And, when I first met my boyfriend, that already upsets him. And then after we met each other, right, we've known each other for going on 2 years now, and I want to know him forever. It was like they kept on, it was like, they kept on hitting on me more and more. And, it not only upset him, it started to piss me off, because, now that I have a partner in my life, right, that I don't want to part from, it's like, you don't want to mess with that. Seriously. It's just, people are just weird nowadays. They really are. They have absolutely no respect for life, right? And love, right? Stuff like that. So this is what we're going to talk about. My educational platform. And thank God they're starting to go to sleep. They're asleep. So piggying back on my last video, as you can see, I was very angry. But, I had to let it off of my chest, right? What I'm going to share is more of my psychology, and I exposed in my last video that their mother told me I was better off dead, right? So unfortunately, there are a lot of women, right, like her, that are monsters. They don't deserve to be called mother. Let's get real here. I even saw a YouTube today of, and I sent it to my boyfriend, because, you know, he is, when I met my boyfriend, I think I know my boyfriend more than he knows himself. And he basically told me he has like 2 daughters, and, you know, he's basically in a relationship where he's having to do everything. And, I kind of read in between the line, and when I first met him, he just was like, it was all about me. He thought I was perfect. He was praising me. And, I told myself, whoever was in his relationship in the past must have thought she was some hot shit bitch, where my boyfriend feels he's got to do that all the time. And, right, if you're going to be a partner in life, it's not all about bitches, right? It's about the men too. And I picked up on it right away, and I read in between the lines, right? Now I'm working on my boyfriend, and my boyfriend is funny because, he asked me, essentially if we can go on a date, and I said, yeah. And his first response was, really? And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't I be real? You can't fake that, right? You can't fake love. You can't fake attraction, right? You can't fake that kind of stuff. Porn, you can. Porn, right? For peons in life. But you can't, not for the other stuff. So anyways, let me jump into what I learned. And I was just, I went off tangent because I'm sleepy. There are a lot of women out there, they are, they call themselves mother, right? They're not mothers, they're monsters. And every day you hear on YouTube of that, supporting that. But recently there was a case on the BBB in Britain where there was a girl, she's blonde, wow, she's a cute little blonde, where she murdered her 2 daughters because they were standing in her way of having sex. Like, seriously, what the fuck? You can't have sex without your 2 daughters there? You have to kill them? Right? That's absurd. For what? 3 seconds of a joyride? So I'm not going to post that video because it's bad enough it's happened. But apparently she was caught on security camera getting gas. And they said that the daughters, and this was recent, the 2 little girls, infants, were in her vehicle, dead. And she went and got gas, and there's 2 dead kids in the back of her car. She thought nothing of it. And according to the video, it looked like she went into the gas station and got light cigarettes and stuff like that. And guess what? That was the method at which she killed her daughter. They said that her daughter, she did something to her daughter where, they were asphyxiated, right? And yeah, they couldn't breathe, and it wasn't medical, it was murder. She did it. The mother. Monsters. Don't even dare call yourself a mother. I'm so sick of hearing about women like that. And on it goes about YouTube, and that's nothing. I've heard worst case, worst case, worst case. I don't even want to talk about it. It proves why we need help, right? Get rid of these kind of women, if you want to call them that. So to piggyback off my last video, for all of us, I'm pretty sure at times, right, people wish you were dead, or you're better off dead, or you're right? Something to that extent. Well, here we're going to talk about that, okay? The best thing you could do to these complete lost causes in life, right, is to not only go on with your life, but love your life, right? Love it. Love your life. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And then when you do that, these idiots realize their words and action and everything about them has absolutely no fucking power whatsoever. Right? So let's dive into it. I'm gonna draw you guys more and more into the solution, right? Right? So the hell with peons in life. Peons in life in their very, very pathetic little ways, right? On a power trip that goes absolutely nowhere, right? Like the crazy individuals they are. So let's dive more into that, right? So what I learned today, it says the first one I learned is autopsy results from successful suicide across multiple individuals found a distinct genetic abnormality in the hippocampal, okay, tissue, implicating common gene suicide risks. So there's a genetic component to the hippocampal. But the good news is there are things you could do, right, to still have a good life. So on the next topic is that alcohol consumption reduce serotonin level factors correlating to increased risk. It is also has been associated with increased impulsivity and poor judgment, all right, such as date rape, all right. So like for my boyfriend, right, I get on his case. I said, you better, because I bought him gym membership at LA Fitness. I said, I better see you hit the juice bar, right? Not happy hours, like drink bar, right? And then the third pointer is that reduce motivation and increase fatigue exercise. That's why I did what I did for my boyfriend. It's not like he doesn't have money to join LA Fitness, but since I have been there a long time, since prior Bally's, they built Bally's, probably the longest. I'm probably the longest still there with some other members. We get a very special deal. Plus, it was like a romantic gesture to show I really want to be with him. I told my boyfriend, I said, I know you're in love with me. And it's for the record on YouTube. I said, I know you're in love with me. You know why? Because men who are in love with women, they talk stupid like that, silly like that. It's a sign, right? It's a sign that they're actually having feelings for somebody beyond just like 3 seconds. And that was why me and him had so much conflict in the very beginning, because he would just, he, he was constantly saying things that, I think he was trying to say that he has feelings for me, but it always came out more and more, right, sillier, that, it made me mad. Okay, so that is important to know. So when they say increased fatigue, that is exactly exercise. Associated with depression can, some cases, temporarily lessen risk suicide, right? So where there's a problem, there's a solution. Other pointers are that the cognitive symptoms of depression, fatalistic expectation, and future identified risk factor. Okay. So you're thinking, right? Or all these other crazy individuals, sometimes criminals, right? Creepos and all that crap. They try to get you, right? This is what I think. The hell with what they think, right? Like the saying, sticks and stone break my bones, but words never will. Okay? And people who say stuff like that for victims, survivors, you go on with your life and you love your life. That really kills them, because they realize everything they say, did, who they are, completely powerless and crazy, right? Criminals are lost causes in life, right? They have to go commit crimes to get other people's money, get other people's stuff, because they can't get a job. That is their job, They're lost causes in life. And that leads to this another concept on here, that it happens together, right? Crazy individuals, criminals, right? There's a correlation. And other correlations are high risk for suicide. When they have weak religious support. So that's why I told you guys to set up the YouVersion Bible app, right? Or on here, be part of a live stream church service. Hold on one second. Okay, there's a light in my window, And I thought that's like Besitas, but it's actually the light from my stove. All right. Believe it or not, folks, in my book, they said that white has a high risk of suicide. Literally white. Remember I told you, in my opinion, there's no such thing as white people? Well, in my book, they said that white people are very high risk of suicide. So if you want to hold that position in life, it's very suicidal. The low risk or none is Pacific Islander. Okay, Alaskan is high, and low is, believe it or not, Asian, female, and those employed. Right. So you know how some privileged people, they said the minorities, right? Well, guess what? The minorities are enjoying their life, right? Wouldn't you say? You don't need money to be happy. Happy, like my psychologist said, happy is a choice. It's a state of mind that you could decide right now. I choose to be happy. The hell with anything else, idiot, anything else in the world. I choose to be happy. Right? Another one is talking about person B. Is somebody that's Native Alaskan, military, and non-religious would be at a higher, right? Based on everything that I've just revealed to you. How you can gauge, right? And it's true that half at an hour, half attempted suicide diagnosed stigma, okay, there is, and then there's more, less than half, okay, less than half, 50%, attempted suicide diagnosed, right, because of the stigma, right, and because of that, more are not seeking help and choose to be untreated, and that in terms of the context of military, right? So I showed that to my friend, Captain James Van Taco, because, he talks about that a lot. And I think for the most part, he has experienced it in his life. So for James out there, when he sees this video, James is a very wonderful person. He is somebody who, he doesn't brag, right, about his achievements in the military, but James has achieved a lot, and he truly is the epitome of a soldier. Whether people want to understand that or respect that, right, or want to mock that, he truly is the epitome of a soldier. Unfortunately, what happened to him in Iraq in starting the movement of fighting terrorists, right? He got injured. But his injury, he chose to use it to heal the world. And that I admire about James. James is, to me, he is, I think, the epitome of what a soldier should be. Just his his stature. He's, I've never met James in person, but some of the videos that I've seen of James, he's very strong without pretense. And another thing about James is not only he's chosen to take his hurts and his injuries as a army veteran to heal the world, but he's very humble. Now that I'm no longer on Facebook, for what I do know, he reaches out to orphans, to the poor in Vietnam, like beggars. Um, yeah, right. And for women, right, who just see sex in James, that's one of the things I didn't like. Um, they're blindsided to the rest of James. James is not only that, but he is he's a legend. You know, yes. For the short time that I was with James, and why James, like put me as his top fan, is because everything I thought about James is true. I have like the highest respect for James. I think he really is, um, he epitomizes what a soldier should be, you know. So that's my good words for James if you're out there. So we'll hashtag this Captain James Van Taco, right? His motto, once a soldier, always a soldier. Yeah. But James is he really is a legend. I think, when I say that, I'm not excluding other men. I just want people to realize, like the movie that I recently saw with my friend, The Black Widow, right? Good movie, you guys. You should see it. Um, the fighters in the movie, the younger sister was trying to talk to the older sister about this fake, right, life. Like she's married and and she wants his house. And that's in life, right, folks? Like people, right, they see us a certain way. And then we spend most of our life living our life for other people, right? Or denying us of life because of other idiots that bully us online and they commit suicide. No. This is why I want to show James what I see through his eyes. And I do this for everybody. And that's why people like me, because, I'm not just beautiful visually, right? To me, beauty isn't just all about you. It's what you see about life. It's how you make other people feel. And I think that's what makes me extra beautiful. And I own it because you have to know who you are in life, right? Before, right? Knowing anything else. Remember that. Um, Another thing they talk about that's true is there is, interesting to say, for all veterans out there, and I have a Hispanic friend today, Daniel Herrera, and he was in the Marines, right? So there is no correlation to suicide and combat. So a lot of time people think, well, because you hear so much, I was in combat, right, in Iraq, and I'm suicidal, but there's no direct correlation. Okay, people like, I don't have to be like fighting like James to feel at moments suicidal, is what the book is saying. Also, it says true. Um, Elderly men, right? Men have the highest rate of suicide. All right, irregardless of ethnicity. So let me stop there, folks. Irregardless of ethnicity. So anybody could be susceptible. Okay? This calls for us to sympathize, right? I know I emphasize there's no such thing as white, but that's not a direct attack on white people because I have white in my family, right? I told you they're Belgium, British, French, right, and American, and I have a niece that's Armenian. It's not a direct attack. I'm clarifying, right? So I asked, this is the time for people to stop and realize suicidal ideation, especially right now during the coronavirus pandemic, because a lot of people are suffering more than it's said. We need to sympathize on both sides, all right, and grow up. Because in psychology, when you just see things your way, that's not, that shows a weak mind and immaturity, right? Contrary to what the person thinks. So I call for a day right now where there's sympathy across the board, right? Black people, white people sympathize with George Floyd, right? And black people sympathize with the whites that are being during the time targeted, primarily because Facebook provoked it, all that animosity. But you know what? This space is promoting sympathy, not social disorder. There comes a day we need to drop the white and black and the race and see each other the same. Okay, we all are the same. We all bleed. Okay? The blood of Jesus Christ over everybody. So it goes on to saying that it's also true that 45% of college students, that's high, folks, commit suicide. Right? So, you know how I said, well, being an honor student, it's not hard. No, it's not. But the caseload for studying is more. And if you don't really apply my art to being smart, it can get overwhelming, right? And that you need to be aware of that. And compassionate and utilize your classroom, right? Collaborate, right? Another thing is that the faults is that on the task is that people who have attempted to hurt themselves they will, next time it'll be more, right? Like, for example, somebody who cuts, right? And they're like, well, I got one, so you got a bunch, right? There's no telling that they're going to go deeper. And then it went on to saying that on touching base on bullying, when somebody bullies online, it increases the suicide rate, doubles, right? 2 times. So people online who bullies, what does that mean? That means like you have no brain seal. You're pretty stupid to do what you do online and stir up issues that people would want to go and commit suicide over people who have no brains, right? What does it mean, no brains? They say things without thinking. It's bullies. Giving it back to them. And people like that in life, they're a lost cause. And a waste of breath, in my opinion. Then it goes on to saying development mania. Okay, over suicide of a friend. So you might think mania, they might be happy. No, it means more emotional, right? And usually if it's over a child, is anxiety, okay? Which unfortunately there's a lot of suicide due to brainless, right? Open your ears, people who have no brains, bullies, children, because their minds are vulnerable, right? And I'll go into detail what that area is. Okay, it's prefrontal cortex, and that's why when a juvenile commits a crime, it's based on rehabilitation, not punishment, right? Then they are exempt from death penalty. Then we touch base on PTSD, okay? And some of the erroneous belief about suicide, right? That people become less self-confident. No. But they will increase use of alcohol. And alcohol, everybody thinks so cool having Corona. It actually increased suicide. Drug overdose is 70% and firearms 50%. And I'm getting on to saying that to determine prior or afterwards, unfortunately, is interview with teachers in schools, right? And to clarify the nature, some of the things that when you're talking with somebody, you want to clarify the nature of distress. And that's about it. So, let going to show you guys my writing. So I finished my assignment today. The exam was 200, and although I scored low, because this book is based on Cengage is not the best program. So, what I mean by that is they don't really show you how to prepare for the exam. So I scored low, but the 40 other percent is going to come from doing, everything else I've done. So you need to understand those factors. Right now, I'm halfway through my abnormal psychology class at a high, 85%. I was higher than that, but unfortunately, stupid people at Securitas, like my supervisor, told me I couldn't have any time away from Securitas to actually work on school. And that's when I told Securitas to go hit the road, right? With all the other fake security guards / officers, whatever, right? So I did 30 on Cerrigo. I'm 5 chapters ahead. Right? It's good to know. Stay on point. And that's what I want to emphasize with my boyfriend. That it's more important to understand the point, right? As that's my purpose of my live stream, than to focus on the points. Okay? And I always gotten 25% on discussion. As I review my videos here on YouTube, thanks to YouTube, my discussions, right, are getting better. And I got 14 points, 100% on the post test. I got 9 on multiple suspected, 8 on specific population, 3 and 3 and 3 on effects of suicide, fact or fiction. So I clarify some facts and fictions about suicide with you guys. I talk about suicides in hopes of showing you guys some solutions, right? So, don't talk about suicide without doing that, okay? I have a lot of people in my life, they get offended because they said, "Are you calling me stupid?" And I'm like, yeah, I am. I am, because if you don't know what you're saying and the impact you have on other people, you are stupid. And if you are insulted by what I say, then stop. Stop or shut up. But, for everybody watching this, right? We can't control stupid people's actions, but we can choose not to speak to them, which I'm very good at that. I can ignore people year in and year out. I have no problem giving them the silent treatment. And you know what happens when you give somebody the silent treatment? They slowly go insane. They're already crazy, but they're going to go insane. You know why? Because humans, we live on our 5 senses. Sight, hearing, right? Smell, sight, smell, taste, hearing, and touch, right? But you and me and everybody, we deprive them talking to them they're going to go insane. Because my chiropractor doctor in the Scammy CNI college, because he did some internship with the criminally insane. He said there was actually research, and it was, massage therapy related, where somebody was put in and psychology talked about that too, a deprivation tank. And they have this like in jail too, the silent proof, where people can scream, no one can hear them. When somebody's deprived of sensory, the psychology said that they will go insane. They're really crazy, but they're gonna like fall off the cliff to their death. And as far as my Dr. Caldwell, my chiropractor, he said that when you deprive somebody of any attention, right? He said, I'm sorry, I'm still like looking forward to go to sleep. He said that we use our senses, right? Like if you look at my surroundings, the reasons why I have it the way that I do is it keeps my sanity, right? So in other words, he's made an interesting point that everything we see, smell, right folks, taste, hear, touch, is to keep our sanity. Otherwise, you're like a bat in a cave where you don't know where you're going. It keeps our sanity. Kind of helps us like move through life, but more so. Right? These are things that makes us smile in life. Right? You look at my surroundings. I got this from Echo Town. Great. Right? So, it not only keeps my stability, my mental health, sanity, but I like it. That's like primal in life. We do things to keep our sanity. We do things for immediate, it satisfies us. And then the last thing that I touch base on reverts to the beginning, because I touch base on everything else, is, when somebody wishes, like their lovely little mom here, that I was better off dead, right? Just the fact that I'm still alive, right? And I love my life. This is victory for yourself. Because unfortunately, these complete, utter scums of the earth are hoping you go hurt yourself, right? Are hoping that you're dead. But you're not, right? And then, reality like hits them in the face, like pretty hard, right, folks? Pretty hard. I'm going to post you a video on Oprah and see if I can retrieve it. Because I tried to make correlations in your brain, right? Right? So your brain can become bigger and better. And that's the beautiful thing of actually trying to learn and read, because something very beautiful happens in your brain and healing Um, and that's primarily why my channel is it is. It's educational, of course, it's me and it's criminal justice, but it's primarily that. Um, where this man on Oprah, somebody impaled, stuck a big knife through his head, jagged. Remember I was talking about put on the full armor price, especially that of the helmet? I'm going to try to see if I can pull up this Oprah show because it was a long time ago. But somebody apparently put a knife and a jagged knife through his head, right? Well, this man, I'm going to try very hard to pull up the video or other related. It was kind of like Phineas Gage, the first American construction guy that had a pole impaled in his head. And that's why they used him to study the brain and psychology. This victim who had somebody stuck a knife in his head, he ended up on the Oprah show. Talk about that, right? And she, I think it was all over they wanted to steal his radio. So Oprah, guess what? She's filthy rich. And guess what? Oprah is a victim of a sexual molestation. Right? Bought him a new radio because I think that was why they assaulted him the way that they did over his radio. My point, this victory in Jesus. He's crowned the Prince of Peace, right? So all you piece of shits out there, this video is not about you, nor your dislikes or anything else. You're welcome to excuse yourself. This video is made to encourage people. The two primary motivating factors of how to stop suicide is to give yourself life and love your life. This is something that it is, right? In the things that they say and do, right? Right? They're going to go back kicking and screaming back into the miserable state of hell where they came from. Right? Amen to that. So with that said, I wish everybody not only a good night, but a good life. And if I never said it before, I love YouTube. I love the fact that the numbers of my subscribers are increasing. If I in any way have touched your life and bettered your life, I am honored to be in that position. And as usual, my channel is for everyone, right? It is not for one crazy individual that doesn't like my channel or one stupid comment, which I got today. Oh, I got to tell you the new latest and greatest crazy comment on YouTube. So apparently I was watching a video about a Chinese lady and she was just eating dogs and cats, live worms, pretty much anything. And the way she ate it, I think it's called hungry. I forget what it was called because usually when it doesn't better my life, I don't remember. But I said, that's disgusting. And I showed it to my boyfriend. But somebody commented it today and something about oh, so it's disgusting for her to eat? And I'm like, no, no. You know what? What I said is simplistic, but it's too deep, right, for idiots to understand. And I'm not here, and I remind everybody on YouTube over and over and over again, because there are, believe it or not, few idiots that will never get it. We are here as a YouTube community, all right, which is my primary social media outlet. We're not here for conflicts. So if you're going to contact me to try to, right, do stuff like that, all you're going to do is get blocked and reported. I don't, like I said before, I don't argue with stupid individuals. Because you know why? It gives them a chance to, right, go into your mind and abuse you. I don't. I don't. You can reach out. You know, it's like somebody swinging in the dark, and that's about it. At the end of the day, YouTube YouTube owns YouTube, right? Right? And if you can't hang, guess what? There's always a door out, right? At the end of the day, this is still my channel. And as much as Mark Zuckerberg and his crazy Facebook community and Priscilla Chan, you can delete me, but guess what? I'm still here. I'm still here. And did you guys see my profile picture? That's me. I'm still here, and you know what? I'm pretty hot. No, actually, I did that because it's a form of art. It's a form of art. After I studied liberal arts and humanity, right, with Professor Cullenbuck, and he has a PhD, more in piano, jazz, but he broke down art. So it was more of, this is me with makeup, like art, right? Sensa, like how to break down art. And yeah, I like the picture. Some people don't get it. And ironically, on a final note, the bird on my head, that ironically is Horus. Remember I was talking to you guys about the third eye and the eye of Horus? If you YouTube that, the bird, right, that's Horus and the mythology behind him. Talk about, like, right, there's gotta be, right, a commonality here, a very clear message for us to open our eyes and see things in a different light, right? Tell your adversaries in life, right, to go fuck off, because you, it's your life, not theirs. You love your life, right? And that's something they can't even give to themselves. Ouch. That must hurt, folks. That must hurt. Very true. With that said, everyone have a good night and a good life. YouTube is here, right? Because they love the users. And if I've never said it before, I love all my subscribers. I love what I do. And I love my life. I think people forget that. I've had so many idiots in life. They try to live out my life for me. It's a joke at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day. I tell my friends, if I did everything that these jokers told me to do in life, God knows where I would be. God knows where I'd be. I'll probably still be working with Securitas, with the other fatty, right? Wannabe police officers. With that said, everybody, turn on your notification. There's really awesome stuff here, more so on YouTube. And as usual, you're always welcome to be here with me and subscribe and share my video.